What up, y'all? DCFAYGOGUY. Welcome back to another What's Happening Now, our look at the underground happenings. This video is going to be very focused on just ICP because there's been a bunch of stuff that has been announced, a bunch of stuff going on. So it's going to be very focused on that. We have announcements that have been made, we have teasers that's been made, and we've got the launch of the Gathering website, which is where we're going to start off with. The Gathering of the Juggalos website launched on March 9th. Tickets went on sale, and very quickly, a bunch of stuff started selling out. Your usual suspects, big balla passes sold out. Little ballas, which is like their new thing they're doing where it's a smaller campsite. I think it doesn't include electricity, I don't know. Those are sold out. Car passes are sold out, and a new ticket that they were offering, the Faygo Armageddon ticket for Thursday night and Saturday night, those sold out, which that right there was more or less just, it gives you the opportunity to go on stage with ICP and throw Faygo, which is something that's normally reserved for just VIP holders. I didn't even check before jumping into this whether or not VIP holders still get to throw Faygo during the Faygo Armageddons. I would assume so. That's kind of a staple to, I feel like that's been the staple that's made their VIP packages worth it. I mean, meeting them and then throwing Faygo was kind of like the money's worth right there. I mean, the merch was always very lackluster in VIP packages, in my opinion. So I feel like that's going to be something that they're still going to continue forward with the VIP packages. But they did offer the opportunity to go on stage and throw Faygo, but you know, most juggalos, they just kind of rush the barricade and then climb on stage anyway. So I wonder if they're going to have tightened security for that now, or if it's just going to be carrying on as usual. And the ones that paid the $50 to go throw Faygo on stage, plus the $150, people that paid $150 to go meet ICP and then throw Faygo on stage are just going to get, you know, kind of the bone because everyone's bum rushing the stage. I've always thought it was kind of cool, like a rite of passage that a lot of juggalos do that. It's something that I've never done. It's not something that always really interests me at all. For anyone who knows me, I usually hang out in the back. I'm a spectator. I'm enjoying the show. I'm singing along to the music. And that's my experience usually when I go to shows. So, but I've always appreciated that juggalos have that kind of as a rite of passage to climb on stage and, you know, just fucking wow out at the end of the stage, at the end of the performance. So really right now, the only tickets they still have available is the regular Gathering ticket and the VIP experience. And for those that may wonder, the tickets have never sold out. I don't think that they ever will, because you've got people that come and get them at the show. And, you know, really the only thing that's going to sell out like that, minus the, you know, Faygo Armageddons and things like that, is the car passes and the balla passes, because they're limited on the amount of space that they can offer you on the Gathering grounds, versus, you know, a general admission ticket is something that you can buy, come and go as you please. Most people are going to have a B&B, they're going to have a hotel, things like that. So the very likeliness of the general admission tickets selling out, it's never happened. I don't think it ever will happen. And there's been some really big gatherings with a lot of attendees. Very namely, the biggest one, I think, probably which had the most attendance, in my opinion, definitely was Gathering 17. There were so many fucking people there. And even for that year, they didn't even sell out of car passes that year. But I think also Legend Valley is tightening up where you can have cars at. That's just my experience from last year. Not last year, but the last year that I went to the Gathering in 2023. It was like they were trying to tell you where you could go and camp. Whereas going to my first Gathering 17, and even when I went for Whoopstock in 2018, it was, you know, you went in, it was first come, first serve. You picked an area. They were kind of, the last time I went, they were really designating you have a car pass, okay, you've got to go up here and camp. So I think that's just them tightening up the grounds in that way. But general admission tickets, I just don't see them ever really selling out. Which is going to bring it to probably the big topic when talking about the Gathering. I kind of jinxed us in the last What's Happening Now when I had said I'll be curious to see if they end up over $300 for the Gathering tickets. They came damn near close. $295 for one ticket. It's basically $300. I had full expectations that it was going to jump this high, purely based on Juggalo Weekend, but also because for whatever reason, and I don't know if I had said it in previous videos, I know I've said it like on Discord and shit, that I thought, I was pretty sure that Megs and I's gathering tickets were $290 when we went in 2023. I did a little more digging, and thank God I'm kind of a hoarder when it comes to my emails. I still have like my original emails from ordering tickets in 2016 and as well as in 2018 and even in 2019 for the Super Gathering. I've been kind of able to go back and see like, damn, tickets used to be that much. And when Megs and I went to our first gathering in 2016, Gathering 17, tickets were only $190 then. So we are officially $100 more than it used to be back then. And that was almost 10 years ago. So it's definitely jumped up a lot. I went back and re-looked. I think our gathering tickets for 2023 was $230. So it's jumped up $60 in 2 years, which, again, I kind of expected it. That's just more or less the norm that it's been with not only the gathering, but with any of the events that they're doing. Because, and I look at it like this, and I'm not mad at it. I'm not upset at it. It sucks for those who want to go and can't afford to go, but they don't really tour like that anymore. So going and getting to see them is becoming more of a rare thing because they don't tour. So for me, it's kind of like it sucks for those, but it also doesn't really bother me because I get it. It's becoming more of a rare thing, and it's kind of expected. It's rarer to see them, so the prices, I understand, are going to go up. And I won't say who it was that I was joking with this about, but because I don't know if they want that out there or not, and I don't know if they want the drama, but I was joking with somebody who was going to go to Juggalo Weekend, and they said, fuck, I ain't paying those ticket prices, and I made the joke back. Insane concert prices, which is, ICP. So it's kind of the new norm now, and I don't expect, I don't expect anything really kind of less anymore at this point. And I'm not going to say that it's them money hungry, whatever, I'm going to try to stay away from that negative thoughts, but it's kind of natural to go there. But I get it. They just don't tour like they used to. They don't have the roster that they used to that brought in a lot of money. So, it's going to cost more. So moving on along from that, this was a very, very big fucking topic. Not only in the last What's Happening Now, but just across the board. Everyone's watching the new site, the new web store that ICP launched. And anytime new merch comes out, it's, oh, this is awful. This is horrible. Well, they've been slowly adding things to the website, and they sent out, did they send out the email? They might have, and I didn't get it, but I had seen they had posted on Facebook, custom merch drop with limited edition items available while supplies last. And just on this little flyer that I'll have here on the screen, you got a Hell's Pit jersey, you got a Ringmaster jersey, a Jekyll Brothers jersey, Riddle Box looks like a poster. You got Walking Home Wednesdays now on the new site, as well as Tuesday and Monday is on there. Fucking Behind the Paint audiobook, man. They brought that thing back. Was very surprised to see that they repressed that up. And just from the pictures that I've seen, it looks like they haven't made any changes to it, because I was very curiously looking at the back here. This is the one that I got, again, at Gathering 17 in 2016, which is where this was first released. Young Wicked did all the production for it. He did the engineering. He did a lot of the sound effects for it. They didn't, right there, it gives that shout out to Young Wicked right there. And so, kind of like they did with Big Money Hustlers a couple years ago, they scrubbed Twisted from the credits. I thought for sure that they were going to do that with Young Wicked, but the pictures I had seen that they have on their site, it still says Young Wicked. So if someone ends up ordering Behind the Paint audiobook, I'd be curious to see if the packaging is still the same or if they did have that changed as well. I'm just curious. I mean, that's just that's just where we are when it comes to that kind of shit. But they do have some new items over on the site, and I'm going to pull up the website here really quickly because there was some things on there that they look neat and all, but it's just not really something that I'm going to go in order. Like I said, they've got a Ringmaster jersey. They've got an Amazing Juckle Brothers. They got a custom Great Malenko jersey, which when I first saw it, I was kind of like, wow, this is kind of cool. Oh, it's sold out. Motherfucker. I just realized accidentally clicking on it that it's sold out. The jersey, the Great Malenko jersey is sold out as of right fucking, like, as I'm seeing this. But it's kind of cool. It's got the pyramids from the book of the Great Malenko album. It's kind of cool. I would never rock it. It's kind of the same way with the Ringmaster. You got like this carnival in the background. They're a little bit too busy, and that's kind of what's going on with some of the designs here. They've got this Carnival of Carnage all over print T-shirt. They've got a Riddle Box one, a Juckle Brothers one, a Shangri-La pair of shorts. I thought there was like where did I see there was a Terror Wheel and I think it was Hell's Pit? Oh, there's Ringmaster all over short. Well, I mean, they did bring out shorts. That was something I had mentioned as having some shorts. I'm just not a fan of the all over print at all. I'm not. Hatchet Man embroidered backpack. They've got new items, and, you know, still looking at a lot of this stuff, it's just, nothing's really screaming out to me like I would want to have this at all. I'm not going to say it's like Temu shit, but that is just where everyone's fucking mind is going, is this shit looks cheap as hell. But they're charging some really crazy prices for a lot of this merchandise. So, I mean, if you've got the money and you you don't care about quality, there's a lot of items that is being added to their website. So, yeah. Also, a complete surprise, ICP announced Insane Clown Posse on tour. What did I just say? They don't tour anymore like they used to. So this announcement was a big deal. Now, very quickly and immediately, I went into looking at this flyer to see, like, is any part of this pertaining to the farewell tour that they are supposed to be going on? Or is this just like a little tour that they're doing? And it looks like it's just a little tour that they're doing. It doesn't seem to be connected to the farewell tour at all. And I'm very surprised by that. In the last episode of What's Happening Now, we talked about them being at Louder Than Life, and on it, there was like a notation that it was going to be part of a farewell show. So that had, you know, me and others wondering, you know, is this, you know, are they going to be actually going on the farewell tour soon? And then this tour gets announced, and nowhere on there is there any mentions of it. But, I mean, they're hitting fucking Cleveland, Ohio, Kentucky, Georgia, Alabama twice, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, Pennsylvania twice, and New York. So kind of just a little bit of the South, a little bit of the East Coast. The closest show for me is Newport, Kentucky. If I was going to go to this tour, that would be where I would go, is Newport, Kentucky. Basically the outskirts of Cincinnati. There's one thing that would make me go to this tour 100% for sure. We'll get to that part in a little bit. But they are going on tour, so if you've never seen ICP, like if you are a newer fan and you've just never been able to go see them because, like, again, Juggalo Weekend was $300 fucking dollars. Going to Halloween is going to cost you over $100. Going to the Gathering easily is going to be $500. Even if you go get a hotel, you're looking at, I mean, probably even more realistically, closer to $1,000 to go to the Gathering. Here's your opportunity to go see the clowns. And from what I had seen, ticket prices are only like $40, $45. Very, very good deal in comparison to, like I just said, all of those other concerts that you're going to pay an arm and a leg to go see them. So very, very cool that they are going on tour. So this is your chance to go, because I don't know when this fucking farewell tour is happening. They keep saying it's happening. They keep saying that they got to get going on that. But, I mean, they also announced the first original time that they mentioned going on a farewell tour was in 2021 after, you know, Violent J announced the issues with his heart, which since then he's also said that his issues are all good. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe we'll have another instance of we're not sorry if we tricked you kind of situation where just kidding, we're not, farewell tour is not happening. We're not retiring from touring. Just kidding. But yeah, very cool that they're going on tour. Moving on to the next little bit of news, and this is going to bring it back to the tour, what I was saying. I found this on Reddit. I have a better understanding now of how notes work on Instagram. Apparently, you have to mutually follow somebody to see their notes. Violent J doesn't follow me. I don't think he ever would. I show too much love to the other side. I'm too mutual. I'm too in the middle. I don't pick a side. So I don't think he would ever follow me in that way. He used to follow Juggalo Collectibles, and I believe he got Juggalo Collectibles actually got blocked by Violent J because he was buying and posting Twisted stuff. So that's how grifty we're getting on that. But it was apparently there was another note that Violent J put out. ICP's new album drops at the Gathering. I got this little picture that I'm going to post here off of Reddit. I believe it was the Pepsi Main that posted it. See, Pepsi Main, that's how you give credit, my guy. So apparently he's like really doubling down on a new album coming out at the Gathering. I believe I had seen somewhere that Fumble Among said that it is definitely going to be the 6th. I'm literally at the point where I'm saying if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I will admit that I would be a little bit disappointed if they do drop the 6th at the Gathering and they did not reveal the name and the face prior to that. I will be super disappointed with that because like that just feels like customary at this point. You give us the name, you give us the image, and a lot of times they really tease the name first. Fucking Violent J was saying Red Fred in interviews before we ever saw what Fearless Fred Fury looked like. They snuck Yum Yum Bedlam into Night of Red Rum on Fearless Fred Fury, so we already had that name thrown out in front of us beforehand. So they're very notorious for giving us a name first, which granted, they put out the teaser last year, kind of teasing the knot. We just haven't had that confirmed. So, I mean, it just feels customary to get a name and to get an image before we get the actual Joker card. So, I'm not going to lie. I would be super disappointed if the Gathering comes and they do drop the 6th at the Gathering and they did not give it a proper reveal. Now, jumping back to the tour they're getting ready to go on. If it is revealed that on the Cleveland show, not the Cleveland Brown show, at the Cleveland show, the very first stop of this tour, if they announce or reveal the Joker card there, the name, the image, and all of that, and that's something that they do throughout the whole tour, that would be fucking amazing. Now, I've never seen footage of this, but I had heard, I want to say, I don't even remember of the fucking name of the tour, but before the Wraith was officially fully revealed, I had heard ICP went on tour, and I feel like it was the Hatchet Rising tour, I've heard people say, where they, they did an ICP performance, Twisted performed, Blaze performed, and then they did a Dark Lotus performance at every show. I believe Mars was even part of that fucking tour. I could be mistaken. My memory is getting fucking phasey as I get older. But I could have sworn I've heard and seen people say that on that tour or on a tour prior to the Gathering of the Juggalos 2020, 2002, Jesus, see? When you get old, your brain just to mush. That they were revealing the silhouette, the black silhouette, kind of Yum Yum's lore style. They would reveal the silhouette of the Wraith, and then at the Gathering is when they fully revealed what the Wraith would look like. That would be fucking cool if they did that, all right? If the first show comes and it's revealed that they're revealing some kind of silhouette, you bet your ass I'm driving down to Newport, Kentucky, and I'm going to catch that show because that to me is history, man. I would want to be there to witness that in person. So that would be cool. I would still really like to see the full name, the full image revealed before we get it. To me, it'll kind of feel like a cheap, like, here you go. If they just revealed if they just gave us the Joker card at the Gathering, that to me would really suck. I'm really hoping that they just reveal it at the Gathering, but it really seems like Violent J is doubling down. But again, Violent J has teased things and said things are going to happen at this date, and they've blown by those dates. And again, I can bring up Yum Yum Bedlam. I can bring up Fearless Fred Fury. These are the most recent instances where this has happened. And it can happen and it will happen. So He's really doubling down on it. But again, I'm really hopeful it's not going to come at the gathering. And as much as I want the 6th, I just want, I want a little more hype. I want a name. I want an image. I want to fucking try to speculate what the album's about before it comes out. That's just kind of like my process that I go through. But again, Violent J seems to be doubling down on it. And that, believe it or not, that's all I've got for this episode of What's Happening Now. But before we dip out, you guys know, new segment we're starting on What's Happening Now. I just gave you my 2 cents. Now let's head into the comments for the collection plate and get what everyone else has to say about what happened last time.
Pass the collection plate. Show me how you give. Pass the collection plate.
So first off and foremost, the homie 66 Sam left a $5 super thanks. Super comment is what I'm going to call them. That's the equivalent of a super chat, but it's in comment form. YouTube calls it super thanks. But with that $5, he said, congratulations on 5K. Keep grinding, ninja. Thank you, 66 Sam, for the $5. And then we also had Subnoise Soldier, who also commented that 5K hit, heart, clown face, flex. And for those who did not watch the last episode of What's Happening Now and are watching this one right here, I did say at the 5K mark, you know, we might have to do a giveaway. And I think that that's going to be the plan. And I've been trying to think. I've been clearing out some of my CD shelves. I've got like a surplus of extra CDs, like duplicates that I'm wanting to get rid of. So I don't know if the plan is to do a giveaway for some of those, or do we wait for the 6th and do a giveaway for the 6th? That's where I'm torn. So I definitely want to do a giveaway to celebrate 5K. But if the 6th Joker's card is really coming, then this feels like the giveaway to do it for. So if you're watching, you tell me what you would rather. Do you want us to wait for the 6th? Or do you want me to slap together a couple of extra CDs that I have and do kind of a mystery box and give that away? Comment that down below. All right. Moving right along, we got Meg's Diamond, the sweetheart, the honey, the wifey, who had commented, love how you added reading comments. I said, thanks. I stole it from PDF. So for those who don't know, Philip DeFranco, he's a bigger YouTube, way bigger than I'll ever be. But he does videos kind of like this, but he goes over like news and current events and shit like that. But at the end of his videos, he always does a look at the comments from the previous day's video that he always does. You know, about a month or so ago, Megs and I have been watching Philip DeFranco. And when he did that, I was like, you know, I just sat there. I was like, I kind of want to do that myself, you know, just to, for the people that do comment, just to kind of way to say, hey, I see you. I usually always try to heart the comments just to, that's, if I love your comment and you get that little reaction, that's me acknowledging I read your comment. I don't always reply to comments. So this right here is also kind of just another way of like, if you come and you comment something very thoughtful, I want to fucking get on here and I want to give like a direct from me to you response to it, you know, even more so than just typing. So moving along from that then, we have Seth Moon 665. And I don't know if he's wanting his identity revealed of who he is. If you know, you know. If you don't, I'll leave that up to him if he wants to decide. But the homie Seth Moon said, love is dope. I know I still have at least 1 or 2 of those low-key loves you flyers. I'm for sure looking forward to release 4 as well as anything else he has planned. So he is talking about me giving some hype for Loki's album Love that dropped back on the 1st of March. I just did my review for it this past Monday. I'm filming this on Thursday night, the 20th of March. So if you have not watched that review, you can go check it out. It's not even hit 100 views yet. Not a lot of my subscribers, I think, fuck with Loki like they should be. Loki is fucking dope. I'm gonna say it, man. Ronebone from Beneath the Dirt used to always say this, and I'm just carrying it on. If you ain't fucking with Loki, you are fucking up. And that brings us right to the next comment with Audio Enthusiast 2817 saying, you're really pushing hard for us to check out Loki. I love what I've heard from him in Cabal and other projects he's been on. have you made or could you make a video about which albums we should check out? He's got so much music. Where the heck do I start? And that is a fan-fucking-tastic comment right there. And I actually had at one point a video project, a video series planned where I was going to go through different artists, not just low key, but different artists. And that series was going to be called The Listener's Guide. And it was just going to be kind of my guide of, what albums, what artists have certain albums and really kind of how they fit in with them, or even just like a guide of which albums I think you should go check out. And really what inspired me to want to do that is Low Key, because Low Key's fucking discography is so sparse. He doesn't just do horrorcore. It's what he's the most known for, but it's not the only thing he does. He also does regular rap. He does some metal music. He's got 2 albums where he does cover songs, and he's got a whole series of albums called The 12 Oracles that are very experimental and very thoughtful and mysterious in ways. So, he was the reason I was going to do that series. But the homie Robbie from Do It From the Underground did an episode last July, I think it was. It was right before the gathering, I'm pretty sure, where it was split up into 2. You had him doing like a more or less a listener's guide to Low Key, where he kind of broke down Low Key's discography. Seeing Robbie do that guide to Low Key's discography, I immediately hit the plug, pulled the plug on my series. I was like, this is not something I should be doing. This is something that Robbie should be doing. I think Robbie's really fucking good at doing that kind of shit. And I've been hounding Robbie for a while now. Man, you need to be doing videos like this on Do It For the Underground. And he said maybe someday, but right now that's not the focus. So, I'm hoping someday he will fully fucking do that, because it's something, 1, he's great at, and 2, it's just something I think that we need in the community. Something for somebody to go find and be like, all right, now I know where to start. So I hope he reconsiders, or if there's somebody else super fucking knowledgeable. I mean, Roanbone from Beneath the Dirt is somebody else who I think could really pull that series off as well. But yeah, I intended to do it, but I'm like, it's not that I don't feel confident in my ability to do it. I just feel overly confident in their ability to do it. But it's also, I can't tell them what they should be doing with their channels. You know what I mean? They've got to feel inspired to do it. And if they're not, then obviously I don't think they should pursue that then, unless they're inspired to do it. But all that just to say, the best suggestion I can make for anybody that's wanting to check out Low Key, I can tell you what I did when I first discovered him back in 2021. I basically started from his most recent album and worked backwards. That's honestly an okay way to go. Or I would probably present it to you like this. If you are interested and you are serious about checking out Low Key's discography and you want to start from the beginning, then I would ask you this question. Are you looking for horrorcore / wicked shit? Are you looking for just rap? Are you interested at all in rock or metal music? Or are you looking for something goofy and just having fun? Or are you looking for something mysterious, deep, and thought-invoking? Those are your 5 options. From there, I can guide you. But until then, I can't really say much because there's a lot to dive into. So I can direct you. You give me a choice. I'll lead you down that path. All right? So moving along on the collection plate, we have Marina BD4LE, and this next part is I'm going to kind of just go through all of them, because there was, like I said, in the last episode we talked about the new merch site, and a lot of people had a lot of shit to say about the new site. So I'm going to go through and read some of the comments to you guys. We had Marina BD4LE. The merch has been bad for years outside of a few throwback drops throughout. I just want simple designs of the card faces. Give us Zippos again, enamel pins, embroidered hoodies, vinyl, the stuff that sells they don't restock. Far as Walking Home goes, so far it's been lackluster, and to take this long for just 3 tracks makes no sense. Should have waited until it was actually finished, then release each track on schedule. Instead, Jay goes on a different directions all the time instead of staying focused. Remember Clownhead paintings and the songs project? Do wish that one came to pass. Which I think that's officially kind of in the realm of like a forgotten project. Moving on then, we had Magic Matt that said the new store looks like something you would get from Wish or Five Below. Very disappointed. We've got I'm just a statistic who says my vintage Ringmaster shirt just came in and it's not $40 quality. And the picture on the site shows the inside has the Hatchet Man logo, which mine doesn't, and it looks like a different shirt. I think they used a picture of an older, better quality made one, which makes me feel quite gypped, which fucking sucks. I would feel that exact same way. We got Ivy Killa who says, look at the exchange rate between US and Canada plus the shipping and imagine how much it cost me to get merch from the vault. Let's do an example for fun. Deck the Jaws autograph single is $30 plus $24.77 shipping. So it's $54 US. In Canada, it's $78.90. So yeah, $78.90 for one song and autographs. That's a very big hard pass. Imagine if I wanted to buy the Walking Home series. I don't think I could fucking imagine that. That's a lot of fucking money, man. Like, I couldn't imagine living in another country right now. And I remember for the longest time, the Psychopathic Vault, you couldn't even get international shipping. And maybe that was them trying to avoid all of that hassle. We also have Juggalo Gamer who said, honestly, I really was impressed with the new website. The hats look like they came off Wish. There's only really a couple things that I want off there. That's about it. I ordered a bandana off of it. So far, that's about it. We got Mike. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the rest of that name. We got Mike who says, why can't they resell the original 6-card deck? Not only was it the best look, we could all stand behind the music. Now, I don't know. And that's a big thing for me is like they're really starting to do that with the merch now. Like they're getting some really kind of out there stuff with these hoodies and these jerseys with interesting designs with the Joker cards. Like, keep it simple, baby. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Motherfuckers will buy it. And, you know, the vintage shirts that they have, like, I don't know why they're thinking this vintage crackled look is something that's going to be appealing. You know, that to me is a turnoff because, like, you get it. Like, this shirt right here, I got this shirt, I want to say in 2016, maybe 2017, sometime like that. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like barely got any cracks in it. It's got a couple that started, and I've got shirts that are cracked and faded that are almost 20 years old. They're in a suitcase as retired, as I call them, because I don't want to wear them out any more than they've already been. It's just, for me, it's definitely not something I'm going to pay to already have it faded. Like, I know in natural time the shit's going to fade on its own, so I don't know what the thought was with that. We also have 66 Sam that said the new ICP website could have been better, still wanted a couple things, trying not to buy any more shirts unless it's at a show. I would definitely try to see a farewell show if they came to SoCal, Southern California. Yeah, that tour's not coming anywhere close to that, but yeah, exactly. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm not really looking to buy a lot of merch anymore. It's one thing that I'm struggling with like how to support low key is like, I don't have a lot of room for CDs anymore, but I also don't need a lot of merch anymore. So it's like, how do I support him other than just trying to cram him down everybody else's throats, you know? So yeah, I'm right there with 66M, and pretty much if I'm going to buy merch, it's going to be at a show. So, we also have Ryan Lovejoy that said the new store looks like Temu ICP stuff. Only good stuff is the bandanas. I honestly haven't even looked at the bandanas. Bandanas are something that I used to wear pretty heavily at my, not last job, but the job before that. But I don't really wear bandanas like that anymore unless it's the summertime and I'm working outside. Or, I can't remember. At Camp Zool, did I wear bandanas? I know at the gathering I did. Like, you guys see me a lot on the videos here wearing hats, sock hats, baseball hats. At the gathering, I don't wear hats because the sweat pools and just kind of sits there. So I will usually wear bandanas at the gathering if I go, when I go. But I haven't even looked at the bandanas. So leaving it off from there, we got Bazaar17 who says slice a little bit off the cheese. And one of the things that I wanted to do here with that, and also kind of jumping off of that exact same little comment there, we also had Micah Dean who said, stop buying it. Y'all buy it. They sell it. Stop thinking they really care about quality or your happiness. Money is money, which kind of like also plays in the quit buying our shit, I'm going broke. One of the things that I wanted to do here really quick, and granted, I can't fully make the comparison here. I got to screen record this really quick. I have a merch store that I opened up on Teespring. I think back at the beginning of 2023 was when I opened that up. I have some merch that I sell, and just kind of, granted, I don't think that they use Teespring. I think they use Shopify. I haven't really messed with Shopify. I don't know that I will. Like, I kind of made merch as just a way for people who wanted to buy merch to help support me. They could. I've had one person in the 2 years that this site has been open, I've had one person buy a coffee mug, and that is it. So it's definitely not something that I'm really going to pursue. So I have no real interest to go into Shopify and kind of compare and contrast in that way. But just to kind of show you guys here, like, you know, a die cut sticker, I've got it listed for $5. I make 12 cents for every one of them that sells. Notebooks, 15 bucks. I make $1 for every one that sells. A pint glass, $17. I make $1.85. The black mug that sold, it was $15 for it to be bought. I make $2 off that. The stainless tumbler, 20 bucks. I make $1.55. Pullover hoodie for $30. I only make $1.74. For a classic crew neck t-shirt, a $17 shirt, I make $1.66. But you know, I had to go with the 17 gimmick. We've got shorts here, $30.99 for a pair of shorts. I make $2.99. Black slides, $35. I make nothing off of that. That was the cheapest I could make those, but I was like, these fucking flip-flops are pretty fucking cool. I kind of want to sell some of these. I make nothing. If I ever sell a pair of these, like if someone goes and buys these, I will make nothing off of that. It all goes to Teespring. Women's comfort tee, $17.24. A long sleeve tee, $23. I make $1.99 off of it. So kind of my point here is I fully believe that the reason why ICP's stuff on their new website is as expensive as it is so that they have a profit margin that they're happy with. Whatever it be. It may be that for every shirt they sell, they make $10, $15. But just to kind of give you an example there of some of the different merchandise that I can sell, granted, again, it's through Teespring, which I feel like Teespring is a pretty big company, pretty big name, and maybe that's why they only share as much as they do. Maybe Shopify shares more, or whatever website they're using. I don't know. I don't know what those profit shares look like. But just to give an example, like a lot of the merch that I was selling or am selling, I guess, I got it as low as I could to still see something from it, which maybe those prices are what turned people off to it, or, you know, maybe, you know, I don't know. I know I've sold one coffee mug, and I don't blame anybody who hasn't bought anything from that store. That's just kind of my point here, is that I think that that's also why a lot of ICP's merchandise is expensive on this new website, because like the manufacturing of it and the website that's hosting, and probably, I mean, this is all order by demand, or like order by whatever the fuck you call it, click or whatever, you know what I mean? Like it's, yeah, I don't know what I was trying to say there, but you know, I firmly believe, like when they first launched this website, I firmly looked at it and said, I think this is why these prices are so high. That's where I'm at with it. I don't know if I'm close, far, whatever, but in my own way, I'm like, this to me feels why this is why they're charging so much. Is they I mean, you got to think, like, they sell a t-shirt, they then got to take the profit from that as ICP, and I don't know if their plan is to put that towards, you know, making albums or going on tours. Again, I bring it back to Psychopathic Records doesn't have the roster it used to. So, like, they don't have the same income coming in that they once did for 15 years, 20 years, you know? So, like, I think that they're trying to... I think they're trying to find ways to still have a revenue source to keep doing what they're doing, so they don't have to go out and get day jobs. And I know there's so many different things they could be doing differently. When they first started off, they didn't have to do that, and they could do quality stuff. There's so many comments I'm probably going to see in response to that. My point is of why I shared that, though, is that's where I'm at on why I think the merchandise is so expensive, is they're trying to make sure they get profit for their merch. But I definitely would like to see more quality merch for sure. But again, like I said, I'm really not buying merch like that anymore, so it doesn't fully affect me. But I see people out there that get excited to be let down, and that sucks for them. It sucks for them. But that is going to wrap it up for this episode of What's Happening Now. If you would like to, you can leave your thoughts about what's happening now down in the comments, and you may or you may not be featured in the next episode of What's Happening Now when we take a look and grab from the collection plate. But I thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time.